Only doing Facebook?
Yep.
All right, cool. Awesome. All right, Eric, you know what time it is?
Oh, you froze up there for a minute, Mike.
Oh, you know what time it is?
It's time to get shit done.
Time to get shit done. That's right. So funny. So yeah, maybe we'll share this with you guys today. Eric and I were just talking, off air, off Eric, um, and uh, and I had this really cool idea for a Get Shit Done challenge that I haven't really talked to anybody about. So I don't know if you guys are if it sounds interesting to you, if you want to hear about the Get Shit Done challenge, write Get Shit Done challenge in the comments below so that I know. So we are working on a new project. And it's very exciting, even though it's a project that's been boiling, that's been simmering in the furthest recesses of my subconscious mind for quite a few years. Several years ago, I just happened on a whim to be like, I wonder if getshitdone.com is available. And I was like, holy smokes, I can buy this. I spent a few grand on it, right? I think I spent $5,000 on it. And I was like, that's a sweet domain. I wonder what I'm going to do with that, right? And I'm like, I don't know. I kind of struggle with productivity, like I'm not that organized. Like I guess I'm more organized than I used to be when I was younger, but like I struggle with organization, get very excited by new ideas, sometimes go from thing to thing to thing a little bit too much, tend to have an ADD kind of creative, inspired brain, but it makes it challenging to be consistent, have high degrees of follow through, and I'm getting better at these things over time. But what I realized is that for 20 years, I've been an internet entrepreneur. And Eric, you're new to the internet entrepreneur game. You're like, what, 2.5 years in, something like that?
Yeah, like 3.5 years. Yep.
3.5 years. Cool. And so, like, it's a weird life. You're at home
Totally.
alone often.
Yeah,
And,
all the time.
and like, even if there's someone around, you're still in your head hopefully working on your stuff, and that's an internal, that's a solitary process, right? And like as a entrepreneur that's working by themselves, who are you accountable to?
Right. Yeah, yourself.
That's it.
Yeah, that's
And
it.
that's hard. I found that to be very hard over the years. Like, again, slowly but surely getting better and better and better. I've been an internet entrepreneur for 20 years, and when working alone at home in a bubble, I find it very hard to stay focused and be hyper productive unless the right conditions are in place. And when the right conditions are in place, then I'm hyper productive. I can get like oodles and oodles of stuff done with vim, vigor, and enthusiasm and feel great at the end of the day when the right elements are in place. And what I realized was that, like, so many solopreneurs or internet entrepreneurs that have virtual teams feel this sense of disconnection and loneliness and inability to focus, because they're looking for connection. They're looking for other people to work on projects with, but like we're working on the internet by ourselves. So what are you going to do? And what I found that like I adapted my company to like suit my own like personal needs. And what I found was a way to bring teams together virtually that I've been doing for 20 years. And it was staring at me right in the face. I didn't even know it. To bring teams together virtually to get shit done, to make money-making ideas become reality and then become money, right? As entrepreneurs, that's essentially what we do, right? We create things, we sell things, people give us money for them. And I'm not quite sure which Facebook user it was, but an anonymous Facebook user says, good stuff. I can totally relate. Cool. Who is that chiming in? We can't quite see your name. And so what ends up happening is you're alone, you're trying to stay motivated, you're trying to stay focused, and even the best of us know that we're not as disciplined as we want to be, that we're not as consistent as we want to be, that we're not as productive as we want to be, that we're not as inspired as we want to be. And so I find that I need people around. It's people to work with, people to talk to, people to bounce ideas off of, in order to get shit done, in order to really make progress. And that I have a tendency of slacking off on the commitments I make to myself, but I have more of a tendency of following through and showing up and doing the things that I commit to doing if somebody else is going to be involved. Okay, just like this live stream right now, Eric. And I've talked about this publicly before, is that if I look at my track record of showing up to live stream every day by myself solo, and I look at my track record of showing up every day to live stream with a co-host wins every single time. My consistency, my reliability, my follow through, my ability to plan it in my schedule, my choices around not finding another reason to push that aside. It's not time to take a power nap right now. It's time to live stream, right?
Totally. Yeah. It's like if the other person's going to be sitting there waiting, you're going to show up.
Most people will. There are some people that just don't give a crap and they just won't show up. And if you're that kind of person, this probably isn't for you. Right?
True.
Oh, this is Amir. All right, Amir, rock and roll. So guys, out of curiosity, are you a entrepreneur? Are you a solopreneur? Are you a wantrepreneur? Are you employed or maybe not employed and you're trying to become an entrepreneur, but you're not quite there yet? Do you have a team? So entrepreneur or business owner generally will have some kind of a team, right? Somebody they pay every week or every month in order to do something other than just themselves. Solopreneur, you're a one-man, one-woman, one-person show. You're working for yourself. There's nobody you're paying to do any of the work, and you're in charge of everything. And you're wearing 32,500 hats. And then entrepreneurs are generally people who are thinking about starting a business but haven't quite pulled the trigger yet. You haven't either had the clarity of thought about what you're going to do, or you haven't had the guts to actually do it because you're afraid. And so we got a solopreneur. Awesome. And so share ideas and bounce ideas off of is really great. So one of the things that I learned from Joe Polish quite a few years ago in his Genius Network 25K group was this idea that which you track expands. Okay? That which you track grows. That which you track and report on grows exponentially. Okay? And so basically, if there's a number that you're focused on improving in your life or in your business, and you look at that number every day and you put attention on improving that number every day, it improves. This is not rocket science. Okay? You put attention and focus and effort into improving a number, and the number could be your body weight. The number could be how many push-ups you do that day. The number could be your resting heart rate. The number could be, your blood sugar. The number could be how many jump ropes you do. The number could be how many people are on your email list. There's lots of different numbers you can look at. How much money you made that day. How many phone calls you made that day. How many emails you sent. How many emails you wrote. How many, there's so many different things you can look at. But if you focus on a number, that if you focus on improving it, your life is going to get better. That's a great place to start. And so if you look at a number every day, you think about it, you put effort into it, like your brain, conscious and subconscious, are both going to do things in your life, even on little levels, that are going to make that better, right? And move you in the direction of your intentions. That's kind of how life works. Focus on a number, that number will improve if you're focused on improving that number. Second thing is if you report on it, and that means talk to someone else. So this is Facebook user. This is a accountability partner, but it's more than an accountability partner. It's an accountability network, right? It's a group of entrepreneurs that are focused on getting shit done, becoming more productive, and supporting each other in that process. So if you feel lonely, if you feel like you're at this alone, if you feel like you're doing it yourself, and you want to find out not only more about being productive, but being productive in a group of people that are like-minded and focused on improving their own skills as entrepreneurs and as entrepreneurial teams, then go to getshitdone.com. That's definitely the place you want to be. You can join our email list and our community if it makes sense to you. So, Eric.
Yeah.
Get shit done.
Get shit done.
You live in Hawaii.
That's right.
You're a solopreneur.
Yep.
You have a fair amount of experience in the network marketing industry.
Right.
You're learning internet marketing as well.
Yep.
You live off grid in a house that you built.
Well, the house that I'm building is not finished yet, so I'm living in the main farmhouse, which I did not build.
Oh, okay. So you're living off grid and actively building your house. I misunderstood that.
Yeah.
And you're vegan.
Yep.
And you grow a lot of food.
Yep.
And you throw crazy parties on your land sometimes.
Yeah, we've got one coming up on the 15th of July. It's going to be a good one.
And you just cut off your giant dreadlocks.
I had them for almost 27 years.
A lot of years. So, dude, you have some shit that you need to get done in your life and your business.
Yeah, all the time, every day.
Right? And like real world stuff as well as like internet computery stuff, right?
Yep.
So what are some examples of the things that you have to do in your life either every day or every week? Like things that are just like, you've got to get the shit done whether you like it or not. The way you're living right now, the way things are set up here, this is the deal. Like you have a bare minimum of some stuff that you have to get done. What's the list look like?
Okay, so for my business, every single day, no matter what, I do a live stream. I do 3 TikTok videos, at least 3 stories in my Facebook. I repurpose my TikTok videos over to Facebook Reels, and I do an email broadcast to my email list. That's like the bare business. Yeah, that's like the bare minimum DMO.
Okay.
That I do every single day.
And I feel like I should know this, but what does DMO stand for?
Daily method of operation or daily mode of operation.
DMO, daily mode of operation.
Yeah.
All right. So what about in the rest of your life?
Yeah, so there's other stuff. You know, where I live, there's a lot of cane grass. And if you're not familiar with that, it's like grass crossed with bamboo. If you can picture that, it's like it grows. It's
strong grass.
Strong. It's like wood. It's like if grass were a tree, and it grows dense and it takes over whole areas and it grows like 18 feet tall. And if you don't keep up with it, it takes over your life and your farm. So yeah, that's something. It's always, creeping in from the edges and you have to keep hacking it back. Yeah, I'll, attack it with machete, or I have a power weed whacker with a metal blade on it. It's like a circle saw blade at the end. It's currently needs some maintenance, so I've just been with machetes. Yeah, then there's lawn mowing. The areas that I've got the cane grass, beaten down, I'll go at that with the lawnmower to keep the cane grass from taking over those areas, to keep the grass real nice. And then also using all the grass cuttings from the lawn mowing as mulch to enrich the soil, in the garden and around fruit trees and whatnot.
Yeah. So, yeah. Okay. So You have some real shit to get done every day, both
Yeah, I
mentally.
mean, that's not a daily thing that I do, but yeah, it's like a consistent thing that needs to be
I
done.
mean, it grows. Like that kind
It
of stuff
grows
grows.
every day.
It grows every
Yeah.
day, right? You have
Yep.
to do it regularly, right? And so, what are some of the ways that have worked for you to get to get the physical chores of living on a farm in Hawaii where things are growing all the time done, and to get the internet chores, the daily business activities done that are the bare minimum that you have to do every day?
Right.
What are some of the tricks that you've learned to keep yourself on point and productive?
Okay. Yeah. Well, this is very much in line with what you just shared about if you want to see a number grow, you know, record it and report it. And that's what I did with my internet chores. I was part of a coaching community and still am, where we had implemented a DMO check sheet. And it's basically a sheet with all the different activities you could possibly think of in your business, like everything. And then there's check boxes next to each one, rows and rows of them, and you make check marks. And it's on a point system, so you tally up the points at the end of the day, and then you translate that onto a weekly tracker, and you can track your progress and get kind of a bird's eye view of what's happening, where your strong points are, where your weak points.
Oop. So I'm not quite sure if this is me or if it's Eric, but Eric looks frozen for me. I'm not sure how he's doing
Okay,
that.
the
Oh,
internet crapped out, but I feel like I'm back now.
feel like you're back.
Yeah, I'm back. Yeah, I'm not sure where I cut out, but yeah, so, and then at each week we take the weekly trackers and then report that to the coaching platform, and that's, there's that group accountability in that way.
Now, are you
And
doing that right now?
right now I'm not doing it. I got to a point where I was so revved up in my business activities that it started feeling like a lot of extra busy work that was getting in the way of my progress, quite honestly.
That's always been my biggest problem
Yeah.
with accountability systems, productivity systems, these processes that exist, that like my brain doesn't do well with processes. Okay. I like to do things different every single time. I'm super
Okay.
creative.
Yep.
And so it's tough for me to be consistent and do the same process. And so whenever there's too much tallying or entry of data or whatever, my brain just shuts down and I'm done. And so that's one of the reasons that the Get Shit Done system is designed to be community oriented and super simple to do without a lot of tracking, right?
Cool. Yep.
But you're saying that when you do track a number, it helps you stay more focused on it.
Well, definitely the number was increasing because I became aware, it quantifies it in a very tangible way
Yeah.
where
Yeah.
you can see your progress. So yeah, that number did grow.
Cool. Cool.
Whereas maybe it would grow if you weren't doing that, but you wouldn't be aware of it, at least
Right.
not in like a easily, tangible, quantifiable way that you can see in front of yourself, right?
Right. The other thing is when you're looking at what the number is that you're going to focus on improving, there are like two different types of numbers that you can look at, and they're both valuable, but one is very seductive and could lead you down the wrong path. And so the issue is the before number and the after number, or the number that you're in control of, and the result of your actions is the after number. And so, example is daily revenue. Most businesses can relate to the idea of tracking your daily revenue. It seems like it's important, right? How much money did we make today? It's critically important. How much money we made this week, this month, this quarter, this year. Like, That's how we can predict how much money we're going to have for payroll and how much money we're going to have for growth and how much money we're going to have for, you know, all these things. And if you don't track your revenue, like, you're just flying blind. Well, and is it better to track your revenue and to try to improve that number every day? Yes, of course it is. It makes perfect sense. Another one like this is your list size. If you're a direct response email driven marketer, which I have been for 20 years, then your list size is super important. If your list is growing, your bank account probably is too. If your list is shrinking, your bank account probably is too, if you're list driven. And so the problem with looking at your daily revenue as your key number or your primary number, or the problem with looking at your list size as your primary number, is that those are results of your actions, not the action that you're in charge of, that you can directly influence and affect.
Right.
So for example, if you're trying to lose weight, all right, and you chose that you're going to do push-ups every day as your form of exercise to lose weight, I'm not asking for anybody to chime in on whether or not that's the right type of exercise. This is not the point. All right. It could be, you know, forget push-ups, jumping rope. If you're looking to lose weight and you're going to start jumping rope and you're going to start tracking every day how many jumps you do. Okay. But you're looking at your weight. Which one of those two numbers is going to be more important to you? How much you weigh that day or how many jumps you do? Well, most people are going to jump on the scale in the morning before they do any exercise, and they're going to look how much they weigh that day, and they're either going to have a great day or a terrible day based on that number. Okay, and that number is a result of yesterday's work, not today's. Whereas if you're focused on jumping more jumps today than you did yesterday, every single day for 6 months, what do you think is going to happen to that body weight number? It's going to go down. Okay. And so the difference is you can't just will your body weight number down, but you can jump on a rope or do another exercise that's even, you know, more effective at helping you to lose weight. So the difference is between looking at the number that's the result of the actions and looking at the action-based number that you can directly influence. Again, if you're making money and you're a high-ticket salesperson, whether you're an entrepreneur, solopreneur, on a team, doesn't matter, right? Like you're a high-ticket sales guy and or gal, and you're looking at how much money you make every day, right? How much did you make in commissions? How much did you make in sales? Cool, right? But the reality is that the number of sales calls that you have is really the thing that's going to influence that number, right? But you can't directly decide how many sales calls you have unless you're filling your own schedule. If you're filling your own schedule, the question is, how are you getting those sales calls? Now, what can you do in order to have more calls, right? You can call more leads. You can do more outbound calls. You can send more emails. You can drive more traffic to the registration form by doing more, by running another ad, by creating another reel, by by doing another episode on your YouTube channel, et cetera, et cetera. So those are all things that are quantifiable that you can get done. And so I really highly recommend that you focus on the process-based actions that you can focus on improving rather than staying stuck just looking at the result. But it's hard not to focus on the result. It is. It takes discipline. It's a pain in the butt.
Yep.
What kind of businesses do you guys have? And do you struggle with getting shit done? When it comes down to productivity and getting shit done, what do you struggle the most with? My name is Talon Knutson. This is Eric Oliver. And if you are an entrepreneur and you want you and your team to get more shit done, to make more money in the time that you're spending, then I encourage you to run on over to getshitdone.com, put in your name and email, and join our community of like-minded entrepreneurs who are focused on helping each other get more shit done using the Get Shit Done process, which you'll learn more about as you tune into these videos and or become a member. So, Eric, is there anything about Do you have any other like personal hacks on like energy, supplements, nutrition, exercise that you use to prime your mind and body to be as productive as possible that really work well for you?
Yeah. Well, I've been kind of honestly, I need to get more shit done in my exercise practice. That's something I need to really get back on track with. And yeah, I've been just kind of normally I'm super focused on it. The past maybe 2 weeks, I've fallen off of it a little bit and need to get back on it. But what I've found when I'm really crushing my exercise goals is that, well, with that, I have a DMO check sheet also that I still use every day when I'm doing it. And yeah, it just kind of gives me visual, like I know how many, sets of each exercise I've done.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and it doesn't take much time to do it because it's just a few things of each. Yeah, and that really helps hold me accountable. And yeah, I'm way more apt to, reach my goal for every day when I do it that way. What I find when I'm doing those daily exercises is, yeah, it just gives me a lot more energy and stamina for everything else I'm doing. And not only that is it's really hard. It's not necessarily fun. I have to force myself to do it and like talk myself into it. And it gives me like a lot more discipline that I can carry over into all the other things that I do throughout the day.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Cool. 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 Rock and roll. All right, guys. Well, I guess I'm gonna save the Get Shit Done challenge for another day. We're gonna let that brew.
Right.
And I think now's probably a great time to wrap. I think, Eric.
Yeah, let's do it.
Awesome. All right, guys. Well, if you're an entrepreneur, if you want to get more shit done, if you want to burn away entrepreneurial loneliness and tap into a community of people who will help you to become more productive, to make more money for the time that you and your teams are spending working in or on the business, go to getshitdone.com to get shit done. We'll see you on the other side. Thank you so much, Eric. We'll talk to you soon.
Yeah, thank you.
All right. Over and out.
Over and out.